Hey, Buff Nation, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson here. Coming up this week in the Buffalo Stampede, Tad Boyle ties Sox Wolseth as the winningest coach in men's basketball history and picks up its third win in a row. We're going to talk with Tristan Da Silva and associate head coach Mike Rowan. Women's basketball continues to roll as they knock out Elkhorn State. And we're going to take you behind the scenes of the men's basketball team as they roll over rival Colorado State. All this week in the Buffalo Stampede. Court left to right in the corner, wide open. Da Silva for three, right between the eyes from downtown. Give the assist to KJ, and the young man out of Germany gives the Buffs a 2-point advantage. Kick out high on the right side. Clifford in the corner. Da Silva wide open for three, right between the eyes from downtown. Well, there's some highlights of Colorado Buffalo's 24-point win over North Alabama here at the Event Center. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Buffalo Stampede. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, big fella. Tristan Da Silva joining us. He had a monster game of that North Alabama game. First off, just overall from a team standpoint, you're coming off the win over CSU, lopsided win there. You go and get a 24-point win. This team, especially on the offense, is playing pretty well right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting into rhythm. You know, it's been a struggle for us early in the season to be consistent, and I think that's where we find ourselves, taking care of the ball, getting great shots, and that's what the biggest issue was for us.
Help fans understand, when you talk about inconsistency, okay? I mean, there are some games you guys play very well defensively, others in the offense, and maybe the intensity, I don't know how you want to phrase it, isn't there game to game. What's that like internally? What are the conversations like for you guys talking about? Because you've proven how talented you are and how high a level this team can play, and the ceiling's awful high. Take us inside. What are you guys talking about trying to figure that out?
Well, most of the time it's just, you know, everybody kind of knows what's wrong, but it still happens, and people are not really concentrated or locked in defensively or offensively, or little miscommunications or little slip-ups can just cost us a bad possession, a turnover, a missed rotation, help the helper, stuff like that, and that can ultimately cost the game.
It does really illustrate, though, from a basketball standpoint, you're playing at this level, how razor thin it is to win a ball game, right? I mean, a missed free throw, a missed assignment, those kind of things are a difference maker when you're playing at a high level against tough competition.
Every possession counts. Yeah. So you can pick out any possession out of a one possession game at the end, and that could make the difference for a team.
A career high, 25 points, 9 rebounds. Couldn't get that one more rebound for your first double-double?
No, apparently.
Lost and yanked it out of your hand at one point.
Out of me, so.
But 25 points. Tad's been talking to you, and the staff's been talking to you about being more aggressive. You're a guy that the Buffs have to count on. Is that a decision you're making? Okay, I've got to score more, or is it just kind of game by game depending on?
No, I'm a player that likes to get the game or let the game come to him. Yeah. So I'm not really trying to force anything. I mean, when I'm open, I'll shoot it. When I see a drive opportunity, I'll drive it. But ultimately, it's just, you know, attacking the rim, being shot ready every time I catch it, and then having a scorer's mentality, whether I actually shoot it or hand it off.
That new career high, by the way, lasted one game because he broke it the next contest. But after the 24-point win over North Alabama, we heard from the head coach, Tad Boyle. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Celebrate responsibly.
No, it was a workmanlike effort. I thought, you know, coming out of finals, you never know what you're going to get from your team emotionally and how sharp they're going to be. And, you know, not often do you win by 24. And, you know, statistically, I think there are some really good things tonight. But you feel like your team could have played better. And that's how I feel about tonight's game. We fouled way too much, you know, 27. They struggled at the foul line worse than we do. So that helped us, but we got to learn how to play without fouling. We got to be more disciplined on the ball and going vertical in the lane. So some areas for improvement for sure. You know, we're feast or famine from the three-point line, and tonight was another famine game. You know, relative to what we did last time out. But look, some really good performance. Luke O'Brien, 5 offensive rebounds. I mean, he gave us great energy and play off the bench. I was really pleased with him. And then, you know, KJ has 6 assists and 1 turnover. It's the kind of stuff we need from him. And then, you know, Tristan obviously played well offensively for us. It's good to get him 18 shots because he's a pretty efficient player.
There's the head coach of the Buffaloes, Tad Boyle. That was win number 260, by the way, of his career.
We're going to talk with Mike Rowan coming up about the next victory for the Buffaloes, 11-point win over Northern Colorado. That was 261 for Tad Boyle. As we continue here with Tristan Da Silva, that tied the all-time wins record here at Colorado. The great Sox Wall said his name is on the court right behind our cameraman right over there.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty heady stuff. What do you think as a veteran player when you hear about Tad tying that record?
I mean, it's great. First and foremost, I think it's a testament to his coaching style and his philosophy, and the type of guy he is. Great coach, and he's been that for years and years now here at Colorado. So it's really just a statement for him that he made with multiple different teams here in this program.
You know, Tad has been so consistent. I tell people all the time, this is the golden era of Colorado basketball, averaging over 20 wins a year, going to the postseason all the time. Talk from a player's standpoint. What is it about him? There's great honesty with him, isn't there? I mean, he doesn't. There's no gray area with Tad. You know exactly what he's thinking all the time, don't you?
Yeah, I'd say he's like he knows what a team needs and what a team lacks of. So he's making sure that he gives 100% of the time in every practice and in every preseason. So he makes sure that we're ready because he knows what it takes to get to that point and to get to that level. So.
Well, Tad Boyle is now tied with Sox Wall South as the winningest coach in Colorado history. This guy against UNC scored 26 points, ups his career high as the Buffaloes get their third win in a row, winning by 11 over the UNC Bears. Coming up next here to Buffalo Stampede, we're going to talk with associate head coach
His way in the paint, on his way to the hoop, off the window, missed it. Rebound and a slam by Tristan Da Silva. Julian Hammond, they've got numbers. Drives his way in the paint to the rim. Layup, counted, whistle, and a foul. And Julian Hammond went coast to coast on that one. Off of Ruffin, who was able to catch the basketball. Dribbles up the left side, step back, three on the way. Right between the eyes from downtown. Oh, Jovan Ruffin. Ice water in his veins.
There's some images of the Buffaloes' third consecutive victory as they improved to 7-5 in a season. 11-point win over Northern Colorado, which Tad Boyle says the Buffs won the state championship because they already beat CSU. Associate head coach Mike Rowan joining us. All right, give us your grade on that one. Very good on the offensive side. Maybe some work to do on defense. What do you think?
A little bit. That's a really tough team to guard.
Yeah.
Like Northern Colorado really spaces you, and they've got 4 really good shooters on the floor at the same time, and they do some really good stuff. So they're a tough team to guard. I think they scored like 88 on Colorado State.
Yep.
We knew coming in it was going to be a tough deal defensively, but we did enough to make some of their shots hard enough when it mattered.
Yeah, Buffaloes get the 11-point win. You know, it's always interesting when you have a player come back. Dalen Kuntz, you were part of recruiting him, and he was here for 2 years. He's turned into a very nice player for them, hasn't he?
He's always been a really good player.
Yeah.
Like Dalen was one of the best players in the state of Colorado, and we obviously spent a lot of time recruiting him. And our whole staff, we're really proud of him. I mean, he's going to get his degree, and it's just continue to get better. And it's the process, It's like sometimes guys want everything to happen really fast in their career, and he's just matured, and I'm proud of him. Proud of him for continuing to work on his school and get his degree, and he's a tough defend. He's a tough guy to defend, but I thought for the most part we made most of his shots pretty tough tonight.
Yep, he's always been very athletic. Had 17 points in the loss for UNC. Tristan Da Silva, speaking of guys growing up, the last couple of ball games, I think he's got 51 points and 17 rebounds the last 2 ball games. I know you guys as a staff have been talking to him about being more aggressive. Yeah. He's really taken that to heart, isn't he?
He has, and that's what we expected from him right out of the gate. And maybe it just wasn't clicking right at that point in time. I think his conditioning's really improving to where he can make tough shots at tough times. And he's such a smooth, solid player. We can move him all over the court, and it's nice to see that because we need that. And I thought KJ was great tonight.
Yep.
Maybe one of his best floor games since he's been here, the pace that he played with. And we need those 2 guys to be consistently good every night.
Yeah, KJ, the last couple of ball games now, 10 assists, only 2 turnovers. He's been very efficient. After the 11-point victory over UNC, we heard from head coach Tad Boyle.
Powered by Ford. Cars, trucks, and SUVs built for America. Built Ford proud.
Yeah, it was a good win for us. I knew coming in UNC had some really dynamic offensive players, and I think anybody that was at the game tonight or listened to it or watched it probably knows why. I was a little nervous coming into tonight's game because obviously Dalen's a special kid that started his career here, and the Connect kid is a Colorado kid, and so is Johnson. So three Colorado kids came in here and really tried to give it to us, and I knew they would be tough to guard, and they were. We didn't finish the game like I wanted, but we're doing some really good things. We were good again offensively tonight, sharing the ball, efficiency on offense, and we rebounded the ball well. I just think we can finish a little bit better than we did tonight. We took some bad shots down the stretch, and defense got a little soft, started fouling again, which was my fear, going into this game. But it's a good win against a team that's going to win a lot of games in the Big Sky this year.
There's the head coach of the Buffaloes, Tad Boyle, after the 11-point win over UNC. We continue with associate head coach Mike Rowan. Tad doesn't like talking about this stuff. I want to ask you about it. Tad has been here now 12 and a third of a season or so, roughly, and he tied Sox Walseth as the winningest coach in Colorado history. You've been with him every step of the way. What does that mean, do you think?
To him, I think, he would never say how much it means to him, but when you do something like that, you can't ever take for granted how important that is. And you can say it's he's weathered time, and time leads to that, but that's not necessarily true. He's been consistently good, and I'm so happy for him, because this has always been his dream job, way back when we were at Wichita State. So I'm proud of him. I've seen how hard he's worked every day, every year. Like, it's no different today than it was when he first got the job, in terms of how hard he works, coaching our guys and trying to get this program to another level, which is where we're still trying to get to. But there's still a lot left, and I know it means a lot to him, because this job means so much to him. Yeah,
without question. But a great honor for Tad Boyle. He's got a chance now in the next ball game against Southern Utah to set the record by himself. All right, this team overall, this team continues to evolve and grow a little bit. How do you feel sitting here at 7-5 right now?
Well, I would rather be a little bit better than that,
right.
But we knew at the start of the year, I think Coach even said it in a lot of the preseason stuff, we're going to be a team that's evolving, as the year goes on. And that's kind of always been our MO a little bit.
Yep.
We just keep getting better. And we've had to add some new guys to the group. And, we've had to have other guys step into different roles. And so, the way it started for us wasn't exactly the way we wanted, but the schedule maybe didn't favor us as much as a normal schedule would. But we're evolving. We're getting better.
Yep.
And, that's the key.
Right after the Christmas holiday, the Buffaloes have got their first road trip in the Pac-12 to take off for the Bay Area schools. As the associate head coach, Mike Rowan, Buffs have won 3 in a row as they get ready now for a game with Southern Utah coming up. Up next, we're going to talk CU women's basketball. They had a dominating win over Alcorn State.
Drive by Griffin, tried to make a weird pass, and Millard steps in front. She got a couple steals, and now the finish. Colorado back the other way. Skipped over to Frida, all by herself, fires a three. Here's to Weta, down to the corner. Frida fires a three. That'll get him. Dribbles right. Hands it off to Frida. Steps left, fires a three. Yes, sir.
Back in the Buffalo Stampede, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. There we see some great highlights of Frida Foreman. She had 21 points for the Colorado Buffaloes as the CU women's basketball team victorious, dominating the Braves of Alcorn State 83-47 here in Boulder. Colorado never trailed in a contest, led by double digits for almost 23 minutes. By the way, the 82 points for the Buffs, the second most scored this season. They had 83 earlier this year at Chicago State. CU scored 27 points off of 23 ASU turnovers. The Buffs improved to 9-3 in the season, and afterward we heard from head coach J.R. Payne.
I don't think it was the prettiest basketball game that's ever been played, but there was still a lot of good things that could come from that came from our effort tonight. Great on the glass, a lot of different people playing a lot of different minutes and different positions, rotations, all of that I think is good for us moving forward. There's going to be games, throughout conference play where people are going to have to play heavier minutes than they're used to, or different position or what have you, and being able to sustain that and be able to do that and kind of gain that experience is going to be really good for us when we need to. I thought there were some possessions that we executed really well. One that I can think of in particular, it was sort of a low post, look for Nettie, but they were fronting, and so Bree made it a good read and flashed, and we got exactly what we wanted out of it. So there were some possessions like that, some really nice zone possessions. We've hardly seen any zone defense all year, so that was awesome. To be able to execute like we did, against sort of a new defense. But I don't know. I just told the team, I just want us to be so excellent. I want us to play such great basketball that I know we're capable of. And so I think in spurts we did, but definitely in spurts we can be better, and need to continue to work towards being our best.
So a nice lopsided win with the CU women's basketball team. Now that they've wrapped up non-conference play, they're going to take a few days off for the Christmas holiday, and they're going to jump into Pac-12 conference play at Washington. Coming up next here in the Buffalo Stampede, we're going to take you behind the scenes with the men's team in a lopsided win over Colorado State.
Shot clock's at 5. Clifford driving down the paint, elevates and slams over the top of Cartier. What did I just see? Holy cow! And now a steal by O'Brien, down court by himself. Look out below! He slams with the right hand.
Back in the Buffalo Stampede, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. We're going to get some highlights from the Buffs' victory on the Rocky Mountain beatdown, as I called it, after the Buffs rolled over the Rams. That game was tied at 28 at the 4-minute timeout of the first half. From that point on, it was total domination for the Buffaloes as they take care of the Rams here at the Event Center. And by the way, we were behind the scenes as the Buffs rolled over the Rams.
Fellas, it's December 8th. December 8th, 7 p.m. We're never going to get this back, you understand? We will never get this opportunity back, ever.
The Rocky Mountain Showdown of the hardwood as Colorado takes out Colorado State.
Hey, let's be consistent tonight, all right? Let's do our thing for 40 minutes.
I'm talking about it. Go on and do it. Remember, 3, 1, 2, 3.
It is a sold-out event center tonight, 11,064.
But we got the state of Colorado pride on the line. But this is a state championship game from my standpoint.
Right off the top of this one, there's going to be intensity, there's going to be nerves, there's going to be jitters out there for both teams.
You heard Coach Tad Boyle talk about that today. He wanted his guys to be active, and they're getting active, Roxy.
Great crowd here in Boulder tonight. Tremendous energy.
Give it everything you got. Let's go. Hey, right now. Kill on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Roxy, some high-level basketball, good decisions on the offensive end, and then great effort on the defensive end. But basically, when you're the Buffs, it's all about distributing the rock, and that's what the Buffs are doing right here.
Thoroughbred, I'll walk through. When you coming like this, they go pick and choose. You don't get no second chance, you might get the news. All day game plan, trying to get the blues. Hey, in the chain called 62. When you lit and you reach, different to do. I can teach you edge, I can stick the glue. Hey, been a long time since in the bottom of my pocket. Load on the truck, bag it in, tell them Doc. AP from a false lane, J to a 5. So sorry, not sorry.
Drives his way in the paint, and he hustles that one up. That was a man's move right there by Clifford.
Rubber band, make them fly, going down in the club.
You might want to guard that guy.
KJ Simpson in the zone.
3 strokes deep, everybody got a mop. If you move wrong, not to beat a Joe Walker. Piece of Uncle Tommy, yeah, he really was a mop. Black Italian, eating chicken.
You want to put Mr. Ramos on the rebound. In the corner, fires from 18. Oh, he's doing it all.
KJ Simpson taking this game over.
You talk about being at the playground, lights out, and he's letting everybody know this is my house.
If you got love for these streets, better hide it. 111 walk all together, not divided. Woke up this morning, I was feeling like
the Buffs making it happen. Tad Boyle fired up, loving to see this energy from his team. They're feeding off the crowd feeding off big plays.
Outstanding 33 minutes of basketball for Tad Boyle's team.
Hey, he a thoroughbred.
What did I just see? Holy cow! And now a steal by O'Brien. Down court by himself. Look out below!
In the chain called 62. When you lit and you reach.
Never did I imagine it would get to this point. So you've got breakaway dunks, wide open threes, back cuts. Well, good offense is contagious. When guys see the ball going in, it affects everybody on the team.
Finish strong. Great shots on offense. Switching 1 through 5 down there defensively. Okay, let's finish strong. Right now. Take care of the ball. Let's go.
First time we've ever seen Quincy Allen in a game. He was a 5-star recruit out of Silver Springs, Maryland. He might be one of the most athletic human beings I've ever seen. His first college hoop, he drives in and flushes with 2 hands. When the Buffaloes play like the Buffaloes can play, they are a dominating upper-tier kind of college basketball team.
Biggest win for Colorado. Colorado State since 1945. One of the full house in Boulder.
Some great images behind the scenes as the Buffs rolled over Colorado State in the Rocky Mountain Showdown here at the Event Center. That was the first of 3 wins in a row by the Buffaloes. Now 7-5 in a campaign with 1 game remaining in non-conference play. And then just before the first of the year, they'll be on the road to open up the 18-game stretch of Pac-12 games. That'll wrap up this week's Buffalo Stampede. I'm voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Merry Christmas to everybody. We'll talk to you next time.